Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome. We are back another night this week with the Great Ace Attorney. Hello, Yusuke. I saw we also have Riri, we have Melly, we had Gazan in here for a bit. Oh, Riri starting us off with an early thirsty redeem. Thank you so much. Hi, Melly. How is everybody doing tonight? Oh my gosh, Melly, you completed it. Ardbert can be juiced. Okay, I'm gonna need to pick a time to do that. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, Ardbert, your days are numbered. Maybe on Saturday, maybe I'll get Freya to juice him with me so she can prep herself for when Thancred eventually gets juiced. God, curse into 100 years of juice. No, Ardbert! I'm gonna have to also figure out what kind of juice he's gonna be. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the points, Melly. That is going to be ridiculous and fun. Poochie, hello! How are you? It's good to see you here. How are you doing? I'm glad you can't wait. I'm excited to juice Ardbert. Oh, I'm glad you're good, Poochie. It's good to see you here. Yay! Alright. Yeah, so I'm excited tonight. I'm excited to get back into the Great Ace Attorney. It was hard making myself wait all week, but I was like, no, let's make sure we savor this. Let's not, you know, let's not rush or like try and fit in streams where I can't. But alright, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get back into this. And I'm so excited to see Kazuma again. So let's do it. Let's get right back in here. Alrighty. I also need... Okay. So, let me know how the game volume is too, if it's too loud, too quiet. I know it seems like Fata Morgana and this game have very different, like, levels for their audio, which is great. As a streamer, you love to deal with inconsistent audio when you're using the same, you know, the same console and the same capture card. It's fantastic. It's really fun. But let's get back into it and load the save data. Okay, game is a little bit loud. Let me turn it down a little bit then. Corn, why am I getting bogged? I didn't do anything. I was just here. It's lined up weird. Oh, it sure is. Okay. Let me kind of make that a little bit better looking. Oh, capture cards. You love to see it. There we go. That should be better. Oh, it's a good luck bonk? Well then, thank you for the good luck bonk. Incredible. Alright. Thank you, Corn. I hope you have a good day at work. It's nice to see you in here. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it's the 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m. at the Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants Antechamber 5. Oh my god, we're starting off so good. We're starting off in a great place. I'm so happy. Oh my god. I'm so happy right now, you guys. I hope you're all as happy as I am. God, I needed a second to appreciate him. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Ugh, my heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. It is a superb start. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. God. Like spaghetti. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Thank you. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. I have some bad news. No objections so far. I'm not objecting to anything on screen right now. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Miss Gisela Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, bang! I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Oh. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Well, that sucks. There you are. Well done, both of you. Is this the professor? Yeah, I thought so. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend— if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. Whoa, Riri. Oran, thank you for the follow! Nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. I hope you've been having a good day. Alright, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Oh god, they're looking right at me. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. Ooh. As you're probably aware, Dr. John A. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. Yeah, free again! It was so fun at her birthday party last night. Oh my gosh. I loved it so much. Roy, hello! How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. Nice to have you here. And it was I who invited him. Okay, so you knew him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be back playing Ace Attorney. I've been really looking forward to this ever since last week. I'm really excited to see where this case goes, but I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you! Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Ooh? Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. I wonder if she knows him. Yes, I'm looking forward to my reactions too. It's gonna be fun. Defendant Naruhodo. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them. God, he's so hot. What the fuck? Kazuma. What? Thank you, really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd have already been found guilty by now. No, we're not gonna juice Kazuma. The Ardbert goal has been reached. We're juicing Ardbert next. If you want Kazuma to be on the next juicing poll, you argue for that on Saturday, okay? But we also have Thancred, we have Emmett Selk. There's so many men out there who need a good juicing. Grahatia didn't, and look at this. God. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Boyfriends. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. Aww. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Ardbert is coconut flavored? Maybe. I think the cafe, when they did an Ardbert flavored drink, it was like purple or grape. So maybe I'll make him grape. But yeah, Thancred next just to upset Freya would be pretty funny. Alright then, I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. Why did cafeteria get me all tripped up? With that extra large portion, of course. Oh my god, a date? Whoa. Alright, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. Alright, we're back in it. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Ouchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Ugh, sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. God, he's such a cool guy. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Whoa! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. Dane. Ryunosuke has no idea what to say about any of this politics shit. He's way out of his depth here. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder, too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Uh-oh, that got them. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. Yeah, his brain is very empty. You little brats! Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! Alright, I'm excited to see this. She's so mysterious. Oh, her hat's a swan! Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land! Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. No, not you! Not you! I've been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnaval, but my true— Yes, we know all about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Oh no, Kazuma. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Ooh, very mysterious. Oh, I can't read that. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but— What? Yeah, the gibberish— This is really funny. That's very good localization, I like that. Is he gonna have to translate for her? Is that what's going on? The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. That's a very fun way to convey the fact that she's not speaking the same language as the rest of them. That's fun. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnaval, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Pip pip, righto, cheerio. Why, mate? She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were, so unfortunately, present at the scene of the crime. Could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Man, that is just the way of Ace Attorney. The second they put a pretty girl in court, the judge and just prosecution, usually, depending, is just like all over to believe her. And I'm like, come on, guys. And almost always the pretty woman was involved. Come on. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Yeah, girl on the witness stand, all in attendance must simp. It's true. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. I also like that her, bustle is feathers, like a swan tail. I think that's very fun, design. Oh my gosh. I'd arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only, a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. I wonder if I'm going to be able to press the English statements.
Yes.
Oh. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. And look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. Ugh, but he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I think there's a few places. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Yeah, exactly. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. Oh, thank you for the thirsty redeem, Riri. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Oh, suspicious. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. I'm just like, man, she could put it under her hat. Alright. Let's press these and find. After 2 p.m. in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it? You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right? No. Ugh. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems, so it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Okay, Professor was unable to eat, so you ordered the beef steak. He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hota Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water. Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Rinosuke? Okay, I want to take another look at this photo. There's only one glass on the table. That is very meaningful. I'm never gonna get tired of the tiny baby slap. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing, The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped, counsel. Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. I love these two. Okay, so there was only one glass of water. Objection! That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. I'm also not sure if that's even a glass of carbonate or a bottle of carbonated water. It looks like wine to me. Okay, but I guess the liquid is pretty clear in the glass. But that could be white wine. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. That it was exactly as it was left. Nah, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. We're in the middle of a trial. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ugh. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers. Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Oh. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here. Aw, tired, did you have a long day? I'm doing pretty alright. I also had a very early morning today, but I'm happy that I could get to stream now. I know, the way he, like, glances down at his hands after the little slap is so funny. Just, like, every time he's, like, kind of startled by the fact that he didn't do it right. Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case? Objection! Minutiae, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? Yeah, Ryunosuke's animations are so good. You can tell they put so much effort into, like, just conveying his whole personality and mood and how anxious and, like, kind of out of his, you know, out of his depth he is here. It's so good. You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Then where did the other one go? Please tell us. I would love to know. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. Okay, but why? What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. Sorry. I don't trust like that. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. Me too. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. If you had a handbag, you could hide a gun, you idiot. Oh my god. Come on. That's... Come on, you can do better than that, Miss Brett. Come on. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. Oh, what a line. That's almost as good as, like, young people are always going on about their rights. No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Hi Nox, how are you? Welcome to the stream! This whole court, except for me and my bro, are simping for this lady who is very suspicious and very bad at keeping her story straight. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's... the handbag? Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. Aw, no problem being late, Nox. You're free to come and go whenever you want. Basically, we've established we're talking to a lady on the witness stand who was dining with the victim of the murder. She claimed she had nowhere to hide, a gun, so she couldn't have committed the crime. But she was just like, oh, there was only one glass on the table because I took the glass and in my panic and put it in my handbag. So I'm like, if you had a handbag, you could hide a gun. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. I love, too, that he, shuffles through, the court records and the papers. That's so fun. The animations are so good. I'm so in love with this game. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Josiah Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! Order! 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 What is the meaning of this, Inspector? Inspector really... God. The meaning of what, Professor Ouchie? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Oh, he's not doing so hot. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. No. Huh? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? Uh-oh. I had to thank the student lawyer, really. Uh-oh. What's about to happen? I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. What is that mark on his hand? It looks kind of like a bull or something. Interesting. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ah! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh! Oh no! Kazuma just looking down at him. Order, order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Okay. Entered into the court record. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. No! Oh no! Well, good luck with figuring out your internet situation, Nox. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thank you for dropping by. Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. The pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? Bro, help. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. A fact you can chew on to your heart's content, from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma, what? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph that the detective produced we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little... Oh, I don't know. Ryunosuke's thinking. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby find you... A real slap. Wait, Your Excellency! Ryunosuke! I don't think you can rule on this case yet. This amateurishness is getting tediousness. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case this time would be out of the question. This is blatant straw crotching. Look at this photographic print. Look at this photograph. All it shows is that the handbag the gentleman or woman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it. Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Oh geez, do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. I want to say I'm pretty sure it is this weird mark on his wrist. Because, like, this stands out like a sore thumb. Okay, let's do it. Okay, present.
Yes.
Look at this, here. Oh, thank God. Okay, my hands were getting a little sweaty there. I was pretty confident in that one, but I'm going to be really sweating in later cases where it's not immediately obvious. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Oh, she didn't like that. Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. Riku, hello! Welcome to the stream! How are you doing? We are trying to save ourselves from getting, judged guilty for a murder we didn't commit. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Oh jeez, okay, can I do that? Can I figure out how the burn is relevant? Let me look at the court record real quick. Is there anything in here I can think of? Oh! It's part of this. It's from this. Why was his wrist there? Okay. Thank you. I'm really enjoying this game so far. Excuse me, Your Excellency. I see Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. No, I have an idea. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Why was his wrist there when he couldn't eat? Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to the case. If we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again. Softly moos at bull burn mark. Moo. Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence... evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? Mm-hmm. I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. I know, I looked ahead, I found it. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. It's in this photo. Yes. What's this, counsel? Yet another print. Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How? Objection! You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? It is right over here. Yes. The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The plate. Your Excellency, are you all right? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnaval. Oh, awesome, Nox! I hope your internet is good from here on out. Welcome back. Thank you. I was panicking. I was like, okay, there's got to be something in the evidence I have, so I was looking really close at the photographs just to see if there was anything. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. Ryunosuke, you genius! Yeah, I gotta do it for Ryunosuke and Kazuma. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well, Objection! Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. They're boyfriends, Harold. Thanks. Why? Thank you for the thirsty redeem, Riri. Alright, the outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Listen, I like Ryunosuke too, but also it would make Kazuma really sad if his boyfriend was arrested. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But... I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was set around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all, so the burn happened after he died. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosonaga had never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? Uh-oh. I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? I do. Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already dead. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! Yeah, he was resting. He was sleeping. Ah. Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
Yes. Hi, Kaya! Welcome to the stream. We're appreciating Kazuma because he's very handsome. No, Professor Ouchie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Ugh. Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I didn't either. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement. But, Your Excellency! Oh yes, I want to hear more of the English voice acting. I know they got a lot of, Japanese-British voice actors for the Japanese characters, which I think is, such a cool touch. I think it's so nice and adds just that really nice extra level of, detail and realism, and I'm so excited to hear the voice actors. The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. Uh-oh. Are we about to get a bit of a witness breakdown? What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Huh? 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 Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Whoa! Jeez. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. How rude! I mate! Oh, well... You're the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Ooh, they are. Okay, what's she gonna say? Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burned his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death beside the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life could be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Yeah, that's what you want to think, huh? That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer, then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. God, just them saying that with Ryunosuke making this face. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Crystal. All right. All right, let's do this, Ryunosuke. You think it was Miss Scarlet with the revolver in the kitchen? That's a pretty good guess. I could see that. Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. Yeah, the dialogue's very good. Even if I hate how racist this lady is. Okay. Yes. But his hand was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, The fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you? Oh my god. Huh? What? Ow! What fun! You hadn't realized. I guess she was looking, Roy. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Inosuke. I'm sorry, Kazuma. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Yes. God, I can't believe she was looking. Well, I can't. Anyway. Oh my god. Yes. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although? Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table. I'm afraid I don't remember that. Okay. Damn you. Ah! I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway. That's interesting. Okay. I'm not entirely sure yet what I would want to present here. But that seems like a very important detail, the fact that she reacted to him not remembering. So I should definitely keep that in mind. Yes! Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. Yeah, this is a really good song. This OST is so good. And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Ouchi is right. Okay, Yes. Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. I'm wondering, was there some kind of poison, some kind of sleep aid? I don't know. Quite right, dear lady. And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspersions. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Okay. Let me look again. Yeah. Ouchie is a damn shrimp. God, worse than me even. Yeah, good old cyanide. I'm just trying to figure out what evidence would I be able to use to show that.
Yes.
Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Oh, what does that mean? Hello? It doesn't even occur to you native detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. Wait, can I interact with that at all? Is he... I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand. A killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. You do know from IRL situations anesthesia can kill people, but that wouldn't make sense with this case here. The man was able to get dental work, then go to a lunch to then pass away. Yeah, I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Hosonaga, talk to me. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. It's about him. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective. Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening made me. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Okay, let's give this a shot. Let's press.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man in his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making this current statement. Aha! Look at him, he has a thought bubble over his head. But by moving the marker left and right with the directional pad, you can turn your attention to the other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with A. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. Oh, this is a fun new mechanic. I didn't know about this. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with A and see what's on his mind. Here we go. Alright, vital evidence. Alright, let's... Excuse me! God, what's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Oh yeah, truly, head empty gain. Rise up. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over, immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Oh, we're back to little slaps, aw. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. Oh boy. Oh boy. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. Thank you, that'll be so useful. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. My man dying before the case is closed at this point. Now he's got to hang in there at least until we finish the case. He needs to give me all the evidence he has. Then he can die. He has to stay alive at least until then. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Nice. Miss Brett. Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind if he dies as long as I get all my evidence first. I need to not get arrested for murder. Okay, let's take a closer look at this. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Dummies. Okay, is there anything else here? About if I turn it this way? Anything odd? Wee wee water! Aw. Okay, I think it's just the label. Cool, okay. Glad we checked that. Oh, hon fizzy water. French water, ew! Love all the different reactions here. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna want to present the bottle here. And then maybe we'll, you know, put 2 and 2 together and say that like there could have been poison or something in there. Whoops. Yes! Oh, thank God the music stopped. I was a little nervous. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison! On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? That would be why she wanted to take the glass too. It would be... she would want to get rid of the evidence. Order! 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 Oh, we've got a good slap. And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly have done it. Josiah Brett, it was you!
Objection!
This is outrageous, to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile, have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We're here to determine the truth. And, if I may, I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack on— Ooh! Uh-oh. It is you who should be silent. Oh, of course. Oh boy. Dear lady. Oh boy. Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Now, the bottle didn't contain poison, but the glass did. That's what I bet. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. Aw, thank you for the thirsty redeem, Riri. Alright, and what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No! Listen, but did you test the glass? We need that glass. I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. It's her! Please wait. Isn't that... What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense. Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. Oh man, I'm excited. To be continued? Again? Again? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How much more do we think there is of this trial? Oh my gosh. What? Yeah, this is a lawn first trial. Would we say that this next part is like equal or comparable to like the last two parts? So I think I can stream for about another hour. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna go for it. I want to find out what's gonna happen. I'm really invested. And I'm really excited that Susato's here. Well, I understand you are judicial assistant to the defense, but why this sudden ingress into my courtroom? Ha! A judicial assistant, and a woman no less. Whoa! Okay, dude. The rules state that females are not permitted into this court of law other than to testify. Whoa. Fuck you guys. I understand it's the time period, but still. Yes, I fully understand. I ask only for 5 minutes of time. I have some vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. You're too late, little girl. This trial's already been concluded. 5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more. But, Your Excellency! I am most grateful. God, her design is so pretty. Ooh, we have 2 people on the bench with us. That's so rare. I don't know if that's ever happened in an Ace Attorney game before. Who exactly are you? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now. What is it? A report about something. Written in English. It's Giselle Brett's research. The Englishwoman's. After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical faculty and borrowed this paper. Oh yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she? So, does this research, whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curare, what's that? I've never heard that word before. I hope I'm saying that right. Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. There was too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just inside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful, thank you. All right. Goodbye then, and good luck. Aw, that sucks that she's getting kicked out, but I'm happy she came in to help. Okay, let's take a look at this evidence. Okay, a report detailing an unknown poison that Miss Brett has been researching during her time at Yume University. Okay, synopsis: a poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. The poison enters the body through a wound, such as that inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Interesting. Okay. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have application as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the full body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Interesting. I ask that the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but... The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance. Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence. That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett. Yes, Your Excellency. If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer. It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to politely decline. Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realize it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order. Thank you, Judge. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense. My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention? It is the report.
Yes.
Miss Josiah Brett, we understand you are studying under Dr. Wilson at Yume University, doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison. What? Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? A toxin known as curare? Man, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death.
Objection!
What? What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you say? I've never even heard of it. You wouldn't have done. What do you mean? I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It doesn't exist. Correct, which means no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare. Curare, yeah. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. Oh good, I'm glad I'm getting it right. What? Order, order, order! Counsel, Does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists. To lace their arrows? The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle, and it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Objection!
Trumpery! These aspersions are utter trumpery! To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed. That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that. I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain. According to this, however, it's the other way around. What do you mean, the other way around? The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible! Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed. But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe, it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail. Respiration? In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move. That's hideous. Yeah, that's scary. To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison. Oh boy, you guys. And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison.
Objection!
This is all very convenient, isn't it? A hitherto unknown poison for which there's no means of testing? What a happy tale for the defense. If I may. All these facts. You think you're so clever, but you must be taught some manner. It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady. Yeah, let her dig her own grave. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What a loathsome act. Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual. Oh, Kazuma. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Whatever do you mean? Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of an innocent man to frame him for a heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection!
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules. What's so funny? Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please? Well, yes, I don't see, why not? about to drink it because the poison was in the cup. She didn't put it in the bottle, she put it in his glass. Don't fall for it. Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys. Sorry. To an Englishwoman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics, it's laughable, really. Oh, but I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers! Wait, what are you doing? No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Check the glass! Check the glass! Come on, somebody put it together. Goodness! Whatever is the matter? You all look quite stunned. So, no curare. So, no head. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course, that's the simple truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Listen, the joke was begging to be made, you guys. The joke was begging to be made. How could I not? Grr. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency. Yes, Miss Brett. I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time for the furtherance of friendship between our countries. Ah, yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. So how did she? See, I'm glad you like my dirty jokes, Riri. I like making them too. They're fun. How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. Okay, fair, Nox. You didn't say you didn't like it. That's true. There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead. Yeah, timing is everything with dirty jokes. Like, if you throw them around all the time, they're not as funny, but you need to time them well. Okay, come on, Ryunosuke. We have all the clues now. That bottle of water, it does not contain poison. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle. What? Why, Ryunosuke? Isn't it obvious? If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now. Sometimes, your unadulterated naivety really astounds me. But sometimes, it's in need of a good staining. Until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world. Whoa! Whoa, Kazuma. Oh, is that what this color is supposed to represent? That was a Gillis ending to a promising line of inquiry, Counsel. What? No! No, 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 no. No, 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 but... Okay. I guess I got too stuck. Okay, I got too stuck on my idea that she didn't put the poison in the bottle. Okay, yes, the culprit did put curare poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious. Fool, are you blind? There's no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking the water from it. I want to double check exactly what the question was there. Yeah, I feel like they're still building towards the bottle itself wasn't poisoned, but the glass was. Which I feel like is unfair because the wording did ask specifically about the bottle. If it had said, like, you know, the doctor's drink did or did not contain poison, I would have been like, okay, that was my bad. But that's right, which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe that complication can be explained. How exactly? I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here, one by one. I'm sure the answer is in the evidence we have in the court record somewhere. It has to be. Very well. If the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed? Okay. I'm gonna double check this too. Is it that it only happens when poison enters through the through a wound? Did I mess up on that part? Let's make a save. Let's make a save. I'm coward. Let's make a save. Okay. Yeah, hold your thoughts for now at least. I'll try and see if it's page 2 of this.
Yes.
The music sure did not stop. The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report. Okay, he's talking about the specific evidence, so it might be fine. I might still have gotten it right. That's not a valid explanation. No? After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You'll direct us to the pertinent section, Counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle? Okay, I'm pretty sure that's under special characteristics, but I'll make sure that I'm doing the right page. Yes. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison. And it's left me curious about something. I'm glad you guys support me save scumming. Ooh, it makes me feel better if I'm like not entirely sure, but I'm going on a hunch to save first. Because at least that way if I like just take all my penalties, at least I don't have to start from the beginning of the trial again. Oh, Counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years. To lace the heads of the arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point, please. But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Counsel! No, that would be madness! But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research, You knew karate's special characteristics. And you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself. Ooh. Yeah, I'm glad that wasn't more than 5 minutes for you, Tyrek. It's rough if you, like, make a mistake, especially if it's a silly mistake and you have to, like, replay so much of the game. That's always hard. You meddling little... Is the swan alive? Rapscallion! Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer? All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how it possibly... So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with, some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish flaw. As even your brain has managed to deduce, karate is safe to ingest. It seems likely that its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric suckers. Oh, yes, well, of course. Gastric suckers? What are they? So, if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, the professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? Wait, but from his surgery, he would have had cuts in his mouth, right? Right? Ah! Oh my god, I'm panicking. I'm like... Yeah. Wilson had to have a decayed tooth removed. Okay, okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. That's right. Good gracious! My brain is working so hard, you guys. My one brain cell is really going for it. That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no? Order! Order in court! Order! The logic holds. If the lady and professor drink the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Are you trying to suggest? Yes, this curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach like you could understand something as simple as that. Oh my god, I think Ryunosuke's brain cell is going into overdrive too. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Whoa! Whoa, Ryunosuke! Okay, that was a little sexy of him. I'm just gonna say it.
Objection.
I don't think so, Miss Jazai Brett. Ow! How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you. You must provide compelling evidence, as we now know that the poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare? Because he had dental surgery! Aw, thank you for the thirsty redeem, Riri. As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference. The toxic effects of curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, drinking it is completely harmless. But, what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are so puerile. What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. Oh boy, what's she doing? You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! I mean, it could just slip. No way. Oh, this bitch. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed. No! What is it? What just happened? It's the Englishwoman. She just smashed that bottle. And the Supreme Court. What a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect up as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible, at once. You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you, it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. What a bitch! Oh my god. How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in the bottle, or not. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for prosecution? Oh, of course, of course! You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear lady. That's right, and really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting with his back to me. So of course the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy. Objection! No, you killed the victim that day, using curare. And then, in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime. You waited until he picked up the pistol you'd arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor in his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime. What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence. Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her, but now, is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was obscene. Ryunosuke, yes? We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it. What? What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head. In my head? You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing you could really depend upon. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. Let's think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell. Oh boy, okay. What I saw, what I felt. Every color. No fucking way! No fucking way! No, no fucking way. Is Kazuma right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Oh my god, the bullet didn't pass through his body. So that's not blood from the stake, that's blood from him. Oh my god, I didn't even think of that until we saw it in color. Oh my gosh! There's a clue. Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off that English woman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait! Me neither. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories of that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been is... Okay. It's this. It's the blood. Take that! Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes? What is it? Ugh, he's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you've said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day?
Objection!
Wait a minute! Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on. Was a spattering of blood. What? Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, because it didn't go through his body. The bullet didn't pass through his body. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Ah! Yes. For blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor, as you were. Desai, Brett. I beg your pardon!
Objection!
This is beyond ridiculous, fabricated nonsense. Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing?
Hold it!
Yeah, boy? Oh, she's sweating. She's sweating. This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it, meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. And I did it all in the name of justice. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Oh, man. Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir! Yo! Yo! Oh, this is so pog. This is hype. Sorry for the delay. Here's what you ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't! Quickly, Inspector, the blood man, show the court! Scarlet Vi, hello! Good to see you here! Oh, I'm so happy you're here for this game. I'm having so much fun right now. Of course, examine the plate at your leisure. Alright. No. No blood. No blood anywhere. Is this the right plate? But no, that's impossible! Yes, I'm glad you could be here. I'm having so much fun. I love this game so much already. I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There's blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. Ugh. I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire. Yes, I really like Kazuma. Kazuma's really cool. I really like him. I can't believe you have such good taste, as always. I believe we may finally have reached a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. This let's pretend attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest. Okay. Was the plate I saw or thought I saw just a figment of my imagination? Let's take a closer look. Let's take a closer look at this. Can't find anything out of place. What? What? The coin? This is the antique collector's coin, isn't it? Right? Maybe? Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Koban coin, and the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. Ryunosuke would probably take a bit of the steak because he's hungry. No, I don't mean what is it? I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk of a Hoei Koban. I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion and bullion. I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Bruh! What? Take a closer look? Yes, we can. I certainly never expected to find a precious coin underneath this thick cut of meat. And it's from the Hoei era, too. That would make it really quite valuable. It's well marinated in the juices as well. Look. What, are you thinking of eating it? No. But the next time I order a steak in an expensive restaurant, one thing's for sure. My heart's going to be racing as I lift up the meat and peep underneath for a prize. I think you might have the wrong end of the stick about this, Ryunosuke. A Koban coin underneath the steak. There's only one logical explanation. Nice. Okay, let's just double check. I'm pretty sure that's all there's gonna be. Nice. Okay. This is it now. I've lost. Ryunosuke, it's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward no matter what. Yeah, get up. Believe in myself. Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. Don't worry, we did that. We're good. We're good. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Yeah, it's very clever in funny ways. This is the kind of stuff I love Ace Attorney for. There is another clue. Your Excellency, please wait. This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth. The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beef steak. Oh, it's good. It's good steak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. Yeah, Judge! I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled. I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for defense, you will now clearly show the court what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found? Check this the fuck out. Take a fucking look right under here. Okay. Yeah, we found the Coben coin. Come on. All right. All right, let's present this coin to the court. Got it. I know, I can't believe the baby didn't eat the coin. We all thought the baby ate the coin last time. Good gracious, that's... Copen? What on earth? Ahoy era want that. Yeah, it's just a little bit ago we were all blaming the baby. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? Yeah, I think we were right to question the baby. He's gonna come back in the last case and reveal that he was like the puppeteer of everything, you know? He's gonna be the Von Karma of this game. What a ridiculous question! How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, but I want no part of it. I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat. That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction. Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoi Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency! Yes, Counsel? A rare Hoi Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now. You're not an actual lawyer yet. But okay. By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner. Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is... I'm curious. Oh, she's 24. Oh wow, she's only 16. I guess that's the same age that Maya was and Trucy was, but it's still funny to see. Thank you for the redeem, Essie. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you. Hi. We just found some money under some meat. You're in prison? What happened, Essie? Why'd you get sent to prison district? Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner of Rasute, Kiryo Korekuta-san. No! I'm gonna free you, Essie. As soon as this stream's done, I'm gonna break you out. You don't belong in there. Kiri, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Anything for you, Essie. We love you. Oh, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. Yeah, we have a very racist lady on the stand right now. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun was fired. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoyer Koban, my prized coin. Then this Hoyer Koban, do you mean to tell me? No, please, why would Korekuta-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beef steak and its plate? It makes no sense.
Yes.
Which is why I'm asking to bring Korekuta-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Thank you, Essie. You're the best. I love you. I'm gonna break you out of prison twice as fast for that. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. Love you, Essie. You're the best. I can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element in the case. Are we about to get another to be continued? Okay, no. I was wondering if it was gonna happen. Oh my god, we have so many people on the witness stand right now. This is so funny. Yeah, you can be the driver or gunman. The baby's back, and we're gonna uncover him as the real killer in the case. What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Idol? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom, myself, I became a ruined man in trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence. Be that as it may, Korekuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute... Yes, that's it! The one! The very one! The very exact one, that is! The splendiferous Hoy treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that faithful day. Listen, but, like, Kazuma's not, like, taking out his sword, like, in and out of the sheath and talking about how, like, his life is over and stuff. It's definitely different. It can't be. As I thought. Young man. Enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. Taking his sword in and out of the sheath, taking his sword in and out of the sheath, taking his sword in and out. I wish Kazuma was take a sword in and out of his sheath, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's pretty hot when he grabs the sword sometimes, too. I'm just gonna say that. What do I mean? I don't know. I didn't say anything. I'm normal. This is a normal stream. I'm having normal thoughts. I'm having very normal thoughts. I didn't say anything. I was being normal the whole time. You can't Hall of Shame me. You can't. I don't believe you. We found your coin sandwiched between a beef steak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices. Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident. I'm not saying I'd peg Kazuma, you know? And I agree, he doesn't seem like the peggable type. But, like, that's fine. That's not, like... You know, that's not on my list of needs, you know? Not every man has to be peggable for me to like him. Anyways... Which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my hoey treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Essie!
Taking his sword in and out of his...
Sheesh! Sheesh! Oh my god! What an incredible cameo by Essie. Oh my god. I'm gonna need a minute to recover from that. Yeah, Graha's very peggable. Graha's just basically begging to be pegged. Anyways. Who would do such a thing? Such an unconscionable thing. Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. Oh my god. Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun clipping. Glad I can provide content for you guys. He's small to be grabbed by men and pegged by me. Listen, both can happen, Essie. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both, okay? I'm just saying. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Oh my god, Essie. God. Oh. The stream's getting to that point. Recently. Oh my god, thank you for the thirsty redeem, Riri. Y'all, are y'all spamming the thirsty now? Y'all, I'm gonna run out of drink. Oh my god. Essie, how many points do you have? Oh my god, everybody's going for it. My fucking god. Hello, Essie? Essie, what the fuck? Essie, what the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, give me a second because I have to go up and get more water if I'm going to do this. So I'll be right back. My god. My god. Alright. I'm back, you guys. Are you ready to listen to me have to drink all of this water? And thank you for the bit, Essie. It says drink. My god. So many fucking thirsty redeems at once. You people are madmen. Okay, I chugged like 3/4 of one of my big glasses at once there. That was really fast. I shouldn't have done it that fast. Holy sh- It's practice! Practice for what, Essie? Please tell me. Please explain. I would love to hear in detail what you believe I am practicing for. Please do share. God. Can't believe you. Oh my god. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Essie. Don't just smile at me like that. Unbelievable. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Essie. Oh my god. So many faces. Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. Listen, I just want to know if that's what Essie's thinking. If that's what she's thinking, then I will make a comment. Don't test me. Alright, have fun in prison, Essie. I'm sorry, just the fact, as I realized what I was saying, really got to me. But yes, good luck in prison, Essie. It was fun to have you here. I appreciated you bringing your chaos into the chat. Love you. Bye. Aqua, you know I want you to be good at Guzzling Graha's cummies. Thanks, Essie. I appreciate that a lot. That's really the kind of support I need, you know? It's really, it's appreciated, Essie. Love you. Anyways, we're thinking about guzzling a different man right now, and he's right on the screen. Fuck. Okay. Holy shit. Let's get back under control. I'm normal. I'm so normal. I'm so normal. God. Okay. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I can't look him in the eyes now. I need to get off of dialogue with him. God. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korikuta-san's Koban is all too clear. What? What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who's the despicable scoundrel that stole Korikuta-san's Koban and hid it under the stake? I feel like I was definitely distracted by everything going on in chat, but I feel like God. I'm so sorry if I missed something obvious. I feel like would it... I'm like, we were supposed to have gotten Wilson's steak, but he also grabbed the sergeant's steak. I don't want to say that he grabbed the wrong one, and this would make sense. So I'm gonna go with the sergeant. Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Yesanosa. What? How? How dare you? You monster! Monster? I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet. But it wasn't me. It was Aido! Aido is the mastermind behind all this. Fuck. blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. No, I want it to be the baby for real. Please, please let it be the baby for real. You... Wow! Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop. Wow! Oh my fucking god, you guys! Y'all. Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Yasanosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. Holy shit, this game's a masterpiece. Oh my god. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in pace. And I've heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. This is an extremely good game. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days, I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man in his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy merc. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bing! Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I'd owe too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Oh my gosh, Persona would be fun, but it would be a very long stream. I'd need to get a PS4 back in my life. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett. Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency. Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well, oof. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave. No. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. No. And good day. Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... Something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there's a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett! Alright, let's do it. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. If Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory, where's the evidence to prove it? I assume it would have to do this photo because it shows the knife and fork. Right? I'm gonna double check this one real quick too. Yeah. I'm gonna save just to be safe, but this makes sense to me. I also want to double check anything here. No. Okay, I'm gonna give this a try. The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed, yes. Go on. More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. It does look like somebody took a bite out of it. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Noticed what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork. Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself. Then take a good look at the steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. Ah! Oh! Ah! It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
I fumbled my way into that right answer. Good job, me. But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry and couldn't help her. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, of course. This will all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything to... Yeah, girls gotta eat. I've heard enough, you irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course. Dear lady. What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks and the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes, now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks on a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks on the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything! Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks on the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been? What? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist. This is absurd. The trial's run several hours already, and you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you have it. I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair? Alright, so he said he took, like, both steaks, right? So he should have the other one, assuming I'm reading where this is going correctly. The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on the steak with the teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. And as well admitting to stealing Korikuta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Tension! Affirmative. Of course, I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal. But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table. She switched them. Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin. God, yeah, manhandling her meat. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Spoilers, Nosa's kid grows up to be an evil person. Oh, that's not spoilers, we've been new. That kid is dark-sided as heck. Well then, how do you explain this paradox? Exactly, surely you're not going to suggest the kid grows up to be fond karma. Fuck. That the sergeant switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened, the, Bane. When I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have! I never saw you do such a thing! It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. Unbelievable! Oh my god. However, fear not, Prosecutor Son. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform, that is all I did, sir. All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. Ah! Oh, she is not happy. That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. Oh my god, he did the thing! The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady. I beg your pardon. Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you? No? Huff! You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense asked to see that plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing. He thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. Oh, she's actually being manipulated by the swan on her head. The swan and the baby will team up in the end. On the other side of the plate that was on the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. Sorry for keeping you. There it is! Here's the other steak in its plate. There's the blood stain. Please, feel free to examine it. Yeah, boy! The defense requests the piece of steak to testify. The blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look!
Yes!
We ever know, boys! This is Pog! Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, he was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. Ah! It can't be! In fact, there's only one person who could possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. Oh, thank you for the thirsty redeem, Riri. That's right, Miss Josiah Brett. It's you! Outdone. By a Japanese. Me. By a Japanese schoolboy. No. No. No! Uh-oh. The swan's going apeshit. Uh-oh, guys. Whoa. Yeah! Holy shit. Hello? What is going on? Oh my god. The babies are so cute though. Oh, there's a little black one. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth, this time. Gladly, Your Excellency. Oh my goodness, I don't think any of us saw that coming. It was I who took the professor's life using curare. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water. Because curare is unheard of here in Japan. Yes, of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water, and it would all be over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. Oh my god, yeah, it was a very Legally Blonde moment. What a good movie. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Under your skirt? So I was right, there were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Place where you were sure that I would notice it. And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang! That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point, he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around. Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he'd picked up the gun. Yeah, she probably would have if she had, not overcomplicated it with, this whole gun thing. You know, the poisoning would have just been, ruled this really strange death. They wouldn't have been able to really connect it to her. Would have been difficult. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. Yeah, basically, Yunosuke wouldn't have, really made a big deal about the fact that he saw her there. He might not have even been brought into court otherwise. I wonder if they just didn't have the technology yet to tell whether or not a gun was fired. I honestly don't know enough about that sort of thing to say for sure, though. That is just my, first guess. But they have talked about how, I guess at this point in history, Japan's kind of forensic sort of science isn't that advanced. Your Excellency. Yeah, if they thought, oh, he just, passed away. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about, how they kind of do that stuff, so I wouldn't be able to say, what they would or wouldn't be able to tell, or, how guns back then worked. Yes? I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. Yeah, it wasn't a good plan. Hello, the original store. How are you doing? We're wrapping up this case. Yeah, it would have been pretty easy to get away with it if she had just, stuck to her original plan. I guess she panicked too much in the moment, overthought it all. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement. This can't be. Takatsuchi Aochi does not lose. Not to the likes of this rookie student. You'd better start getting used to tough opposition. Yeah, just pretend you didn't see that. It's fine. It's fine. I am probably going to stop after this case because I do have to get up early tomorrow and I've already run an hour later than I meant to, but I didn't want to stop in the middle of the case. It was getting too good. So I think next Ace Attorney stream, which will be the week after next, I will have to miss next week's stream. But week after next, I will be starting Case 2. As much as I would love to just keep playing, I do have to get up in a few hours. What? Yes? This insult to the Aochi family name will never be forgotten. You've become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Oh, is that why Pain is always against Phoenix? Bloodline feud. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. This dude just whips out his sword in the middle of the court? Bro. 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. Kazuma! Yeah, this is a very long for an intro case, but it's been a very good one. I've enjoyed it a ton. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. I thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asugi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? What's going on, Kazuma? Never mind. No, babe, tell me. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. Wow. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty. Yay! Oh, it's Sakura petals instead of the confetti from the other games. That's so cute. I like that. It's a fun little change up. This court is now adjourned. We did it! Yay! Poggies! We saved the boy! Alright, 22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants Antechamber 5. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it! I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial! Ryunosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations! Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Who is it? Oh, Susato! Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! Carrot, hello! How are you doing? Good to see you! Oh my god, if we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Ah, yes, of course. Oh my god, yeah, Kazuma date, oh my god. Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense. Speaking of Mikotoba... Ah, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Alright, Riri's found her man. Right here. The rest of us have Kazuma. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all, your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson? I love Kazuma! Our tastes match once again! This is how you know we have true friendship. We understand what makes a boy good. Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asugi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I know, right? It's just because Kazuma is so handsome that his headband has to always blow in the wind. He's very dashing. I like him a lot. I'll learn all that I can. And he's just such a good boy, and he's such a good friend. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asugi clan. Exactly, Scarlet Fight gets it. It blows in the wind because he's perfect. You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. A Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. God, and he's kind of a dork too. It's cute. And cuts down anything that's in my way. Ooh. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Josiah Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. No, don't shove him into a locker! Don't shove him into a locker, Essie. I know you think he's handsome too. Is that what you do to men you like, Essie? Ah yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit after all. Oh man, is she gonna get away with it? She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Josiah Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Ah, Inspector Hosonaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... But what's all this about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? One day I'll tell the story of how I actually did shove a guy into a locker in middle school. Alright, well, Essie, I think you don't have to tell the story. I think some of the chat here wants to experience it for themselves. So, have fun with that. But then who? Who's going to bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the Friendship Treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances you're right. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments. They can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governments making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. Who is she, I wonder? Exactly. I'm afraid that for the young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. I wonder if we're going to run into her again later in the game. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But Professor... You're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you? Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor? Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh yes, thank you. Yep, he was super deep undercover, so Josiah Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. Aww. If I helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. Aw, thank you, Carrot! I'm glad you're here to hang out. I'm playing for the first time, and I'm super, super loving it already. Oh, it's so good so far, and I only finished the first case, so I'm like, oh my god, it can only get better. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat? I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No, the ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Aw, thank you, Tyrek. I appreciate that. I love games like this. Ace Attorney is one of my favorite series, and I get very, very into it, so I'm happy to be able to stream it and share a game that I haven't played before. Yeah, there's so much Tokyo in Case 1. Like, there's the whole thing of, are we gonna meet Chisai again? And like, oh my gosh, just there's so much. I'm really looking forward to continuing playing. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. Yeah, I can already see why these are your favorite games. Like, this is so good so far. Like, you know, it just feels like a very nice, like they get really here what makes Ace Attorney great, and they've just really kind of perfected the formula, even just judging by this first case. And it's so fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of it so much. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in, and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Oh yeah, you should definitely tell me what your hot takes are off stream, or just whenever I've gotten to a point where it's not spoilers for me to hear. No, actually, you defend or represent yourself in court a lot in Ace Attorney games. It happens pretty often. More than you'd think, I feel like. But man, yeah, the new characters are really fun. It's really nice to have a fresh cast. As much as I love Phoenix and the others, like, it's nice to kind of have this kind of feel like a, fresh break. Kind of make the series feel like it's really doing something new and different. Yes. This, time period, the industrial age Japan, is so... It's so good. I also love Golden Kamui. It's a really good anime. I need to catch up on it. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me. Well, you faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it, through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Oh my god, yes, the OST so far is so good. Thanks, Kazuma. There have been so many times I've heard a song and been like, oh, this is really good. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. It sounds serious. What is... Ah, you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. No, I want to know what Kazuma was going to tell me. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. No, tell me now. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your studied tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah yes, that too. I want to know! Kazuma! So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Sato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Yay! That's the end of the first chapter! That's so exciting! Oh my god, we did it! That was so good. I really, really enjoyed that. Alright. So, it is getting late. Let's switch over to just chatting. Thank you guys so much for coming. I want to play a little bit of the second chapter, but I'm like, no, I need to stop here. I need to be awake in like less than 6 hours. So I do need to like go to bed soon. But oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be able to come back to this. Like I said, the next Great Ace Attorney stream will be on April 5th. Yes, April 5th. I will not be able to stream on the 29th. I will be out of town for a little bit. But I will be back for April 5th, and we will pick up for Chapter 2 then. Yeah, I cannot wait to pick it up again. I'm really excited. I'll thank you for the Thirsty Redeem Riri. I will take one last drink. But yeah, thank you guys all for coming, and thank you for experiencing this with me. No, it was super worth it. I wouldn't have been able to stop. The trial was getting way too good. Like, having to stop there would have just been agony, especially with having to wait a week between. Like, that would have sucked. You know? Aw, thank you, Essie. But yeah, thank you all of you guys for coming. I had so much fun. Alright though, before I leave, I want to raid somebody. So let's go see who is online right now. Is anybody I follow streaming? I don't think so, but let's see. Let me find somebody. Let me see. Oh man. There is somebody playing the first game, but they're playing it in Spanish. That's too bad. Alright. You know what? We did raid them last time too, but Snek is on again. So, we will give Snek a nice raid. Okay, I'm just typing out the raid message that we're gonna use. Whoops. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for being here. I appreciated the company. Okay. So, there is our raid message. And we are gonna raid my friend Snek. Everybody have a good night. I will see you all later. It was great to see you here. Yes, always great to have you guys here. Have a great night. Bye bye.